to the Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live.
Woo! It is a beautiful Sunday out there, fam. I hope you and yours are ready to score some touchdowns, and your opponents are ready to eat your poop. That's right, you're going to make them eat your poop. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Sunday Live. I am your host today. I am your captain today, Jason Moore. I told Mike, I said, hey, you go to Disneyland. We got a matchup, one-on-one, actually two-on-two, but main Dynasty League and the League of Record. We are facing off. I said, you go, but go on a week where everyone's playing in domes and there's no weather problems, and then I will take over Sunday Live. So that's what he did. That's what we're experiencing. In fact, let's get into that. Let's see what the big picture is today.
The big picture.
All right, more specifics on Mike and I's matchup. In the League of Record, where Mike is the current odds-on favorite to win the championship, he went out and he made two big trades. He had a quarterback weakness, and he went out and he traded for Jackson Dart, and he went out and he traded for Joe Burrow. Well, I got bad news for you, Mike. Jackson Dart's he's out, and I'm seeing Joe Burrow also out. Now, granted, these are playoff moves, so it's irrelevant for him, but that is important. We thought Joe Burrow might play this week. He was taking first-team reps. Joe Flacco was taking second-team reps, resting the shoulder. Now we find out it's because he's going to be throwing more today. A lot of questions, I'm sure, out there about Joe Flacco because he's been on fire, but he doesn't have Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow breathing down his neck. Jackson Dart, it looked like early in the week he was progressing through concussion protocol. We are excited to get him back out there. That is such a shame for that game, but never fear. Jameis Winston is there to throw it deep to Darius Slayton. Also, Aaron Rodgers is out, so the man that we have no idea who it is, Mason Schmudolph, with the mustache, will be starting behind him. This is sad news. At the running back position, my man, my king, Josh Jacobs is out. They play on Thanksgiving, though, so you're going to see here in a second Matthew Golden, in a second being now. Matthew Golden is also out. I think that the Packers are playing the long-term game here with a big matchup coming up on Thanksgiving, getting those two important players, or one of those important players, healthy. So Josh Jacobs is out. I'm sure we will have no shortage of questions about the backup there. Bucky Irving, also out, not a surprise. However, the surprise that came through this morning is that the current expectation, last I saw, was he's expected to play next week. That would be awesome to get Bucky back out in the last week potentially. Without Bucky, I know there will be a ton of Sean Tucker questions, and I don't think you're going to want the answer that I have. Isaiah Pacheco also out. It looked like he might be back. I'm so happy he's out. I need Kareem Hunt in a couple of places. Yeah, sometimes it's hard in the streets, okay? Sometimes you struggle. Trey Benson out. The news around Arizona was pretty promising. It looked like he was closer to playing than we thought. Like, you know, if you listen to the show this week, it was kind of a foregone conclusion that he was coming back but not going to play this week, which turned out to be true. But then it was like towards the end of the week, the weekend was like, he's got a shot. So I do expect him to be out there next week, TBD. Kenneth Walker. Ken Bone, I make you my start of the week. And then for the first time all year, it's like, oh, I'm on the injury report. Remember this? Remember what I do? Remember how I get injured? Kenneth. But he is, Kenneth Walker is playing, so I guess I can't be too mad at him. Who I can be mad at is Ramondre Stevenson. Looks like he's going to be active. Oh, come on, people. Come on. That's rude. This is a man. He's got a family. But, yeah, Travion Henderson, that'll be interesting to see. I know a lot of people riding on him. I'm sure there will be questions about where he slots in with Ramondre active and maybe where Ramondre slots in if you can play him. Alvin Kamara, he is expected to play, but they are the 4:05 p.m. Eastern game, so you might need to have a pivot option. I think he is an okay play. He got 25 opportunities last week. I mean, he has clearly lost a step. But if he doesn't play, and if you want to roll the dice, Devin Neal, the rookie running back that they took, I think in like the 6th round, which was sad because I really like Devin Neal. That boy can play. So maybe he is in play if Kamara unexpectedly sits. At the wide receiver position, we got Brian Thomas Jr. out. Not a surprise. I think that the wide receivers there are a little murky. Playing against the Cardinals, it's like, okay, we can do this. Will Johnson, their main cornerback, is out. So maybe you want to roll with Jacoby Myers or Parker Washington. I think Someone will have value there. It will be really hard to determine who. Rashad Bateman is out. Good for your Mark Andrews, your Zay Flowers. A little consolidation. Drake London, as expected, out. That is sad. People will be pitsing their pants at the tight end position. If you know, you know. Matthew Golden, as I said earlier, is out. Dontavian Wicks, teammate, is in. Man, I would love to be able to put him in lineups. If that guy could catch, if the wide receiver could catch the ball, I think he'd be really good. He can get open. Xavier Worthy is in. Chris Godwin, look at this, expected to play. It's the nighttime game. I don't think I'd throw him out there week 1. The matchup is kind of good, though, because you're playing against the Rams, who just shut down the run. The Rams are going to score on you, so you're going to need to pass the ball. But maybe it's more like bad news for Tez Johnson, good news for Baker. Let's see. Who else at the tight end position? Brenton Strange is in, so that makes it even more murky with some of those wide receivers there. And Mike Gesicki. Oh, I had not seen this until this moment. You gave me this like an hour ago, and I hadn't read all the way to the last word. Mike Gesicki is in. Interesting. In the games that Chase or Higgins has missed, Gesicki has been good, but they didn't have Fant. Honestly, what this means to me is just like we thought maybe Fant could be a flyer. I don't know. I don't want Fant and Gesicki splitting reps. That is it. The weather updates are beautiful. The skies are great. Everyone go outside, touch some grass, enjoy life. And if you're not going outside, look up and see a beautiful roof. The way that so many teams will see this week, playing in a dome as they should. Anyways, let's are you ready back there, Papa Josh?
Let me check the computer real quick.
All right.
Looks like we're ready.
Let's see who's hot.
He's so hot right now.
Who's hot? Who's too hot for the hot tub?
All right, we got some that are going to be a little easy, and then we got some that people are struggling with.
They're all going to be easy.
All right, well, we'll see.
We're
going to start with the quarterbacks. So we've got our boy Jacoby Brissett or Dak Prescott.
Okay, that one I get it. That takes a second to pause. You drafted Prescott high. Jacoby Brissett's career backup. I am benching Dak in my league. Now I'm doing it for Brock Purdy. The matchup against the Eagles, that was the worst game for Dak this year fantasy-wise. However, he really played outstanding. He played outstanding football. Javonte just had like 3 touchdowns in that game, or at least 2. But the Eagles defense, man alive, they are just I think the last 2 opponents haven't scored 10 offensive points. Like, they are scary. Some of the acquisitions they made towards the trade deadline, I am fearful. And even though Dak is at home, I love that. I love that for Pickens. I love that for Lamb, and for Dak. I'm hopeful. If you can move on, I would. And I think Brissett is a great play this week. Brissett's been top 12 every single week he's been a starter. He is at home. He's playing against Jacksonville, another one of those teams. Hard to run on, easy to pass on. So I'm going Brissett. Who else you got?
All right, well, Burrow is out, so Joe Flacco or Sam Darnold.
Yes, so that one is much tougher. Flacco has been on his own heater, finally cooling off a little bit. Now you lose Jamar Chase. If you look at the games themselves, having pieces in the Cincy game is great. The over-under way higher than in the Seattle-Tennessee game. However, the implied team total, way higher for the Seattle side because they're like 800-point favorites against Tennessee. I've got Sam Darnold as my streaming quarterback this week. I think I would roll Sam Darnold with JSN and hope he gets some passing touchdowns before they're up too big.
All right, we're moving over to the running backs here. We've got Quinshon Judkins or Kenneth Walker.
Okay, rookie sensation who has been up and down. I mean, so when it comes to Quinshon Judkins, he looks great on every play on it in every game. He's getting the workload. That's all great. The offense stinks, so touchdown opportunities aren't going to be there. You hope that you've got an easy matchup. They kind of keep going back and forth every week from a difficult matchup to an easy matchup. Playing against the Raiders this week. So I don't see that as a difficult matchup for Quinshon Judkins. And then Kenneth Walker, who I love in that Seattle game. He was my start of the week. I do worry a little bit with the injury that popped up. I'm going to use that as a tiebreaker. I'm going to go Judkins against the Raiders versus Kenneth Walker.
All right, next one up here. This is a little nasty on this one. Alvin Kamara or Sean Tucker.
Oh, so man, people aren't going to like this. I'm not going to. So I don't even like this. So I was looking this morning, finalizing my rankings. Sean Tucker was awesome last week. His speed, his power was great. He usurped Rachaad White, as he should have. And if you look at what the Buccaneers have done, you look at what they did last year with Bucky Irving. Like they gave Rachaad White time. And then they kept getting Bucky more and more involved. And eventually they go, you know what? Our team is better. Our play is better. Our drive is better when the better player is playing more. They did that last week finally. And Sean Tucker was more involved. Bucky is not here. So do I think it's going to be Sean Tucker's team as far as like he is in the lead of this backfield? Absolutely I do. Do I think he's good? Absolutely I do. Am I scared of the Rams? Very scared of the Rams. They have not given up a lot to running backs. Last week, it was like a huge, beautifully fast runaway touchdown run for Sean Tucker that really elevated his game. Is really tough because you don't know about Kamara in the afternoon game. Is Sean Tucker? No, Sean Tucker's after that, right? Sean Tucker is like an 8 o'clock game. Okay, all right. In that case, I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. You've already got the pivot if for some reason he's not active. Tyler Shough has not been bad. I know we kind of dunked on him 2 weeks ago for against the Rams having an abysmal performance, but when I went back and watched the tape, he wasn't that bad. The team was bad. They like didn't ever have the ball, but he looked okay. Then he comes back after the bye, gets a win against a hot Carolina team. He's okay. So I'm gonna go Alvin Kamara there by a hair. You have more Sean Tucker, don't you?
I have him in Dynasty,
I knew
man.
It. Oh, yeah. So these are personal questions. Josh is here for him. I'm here for you.
These people are struggling with Sean Tucker this week, man, because here's the next one.
Okay.
Sean Tucker or Zach Charbonnet?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So part of making Kenneth Walker my start of the week was the coaching staff coming out and saying, look, just like I was talking about with the Bucs, Kenneth Walker has earned more touches. He's been doing good stuff. He has earned the right to get more touches. And I'm hoping that flips this week and that Kenneth Walker is the starter and Charbonnet is the backup, because Kenneth Walker should be the starter and Charbonnet should be the backup. I would rather play Sean Tucker than Charbonnet. And I say that with hesitation because when you're 13.5-point road favorites, rushing touchdowns are going to come. And when they get inside the 5-yard line, that is Charbonnet's time. Oh, man, as I say this, I'm like, he's going to get a touchdown. You know Charbonnet's – I made Kenneth Walker my start of the week. It's a guarantee that Charbonnet steals a touchdown. Oh, do you have anything lower with Sean? I want to get Sean Tucker in here, but I think I got to actually go Charbonnet here. They're favored by – give me like a Sean Tucker or Tank Bigsby.
No, you said these were all going to be easy, man.
Yeah, super easy. I'm going Charbonnet. I gotta trust the process. Man, that stinks.
All right, let's move to some easier ones.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Please
to the wide receivers here. Easy peasy on this one. Andre Yoshivas or Darius Slayton.
Oh, so I think I was looking at this because I'm a Slayton apologist and a Jameis Winston lover for fantasy purposes. I would never want him to be the quarterback of my football team unless I was trying to get the number 1 pick. But for fantasy purposes, I love him. The hamstring issue worries me. I'll peel back the curtain here. This morning I was talking to Andy. Andy in the League of Record, he has to basically decide between starting Alec Pierce in a tough matchup against Kansas City Chiefs or Darius Slayton. So he's like, what would you do? I answered Slayton, and he was really upset because that's how his gut was leaning too. He's like, I was really hoping you didn't say that because that's the way I'm leaning. I am Andre Yoshivas, the wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals, who's going to step up, hopefully, in the absence of Jamar Chase in a high over-under game, is a good play. And I know I've heard criticism of like, why do you like Darius Slayton so much? And I get it. I get it. He has done very little. I've had to explain, like, he had a touchdown that he 100% scored that got called back on a phantom penalty, and then he had another touchdown that was legit. Those happen. I don't think I'm going – personally, I'm going Slayton. I don't think that's how everyone would go here. I think Mike would probably go Yoshivas, but it's not about what I want or he wants. It's about what you want. So you start whoever you want. But if it was me, on my roster, I think that the upside is Slayton. I like Darius Slayton a lot.
All right, well, you mentioned him, so let's get to him. Alec Pierce or Christian Watson?
That one is a little bit easier for me because Christian Watson is in a situation here against the Vikings where you have no Matthew Golden. Obviously, Jaden Reed is not back yet. Tucker Kraft is gone. He's coming off a 2-touchdown game. Christian Watson is so necessary to this offense. Not only is he a good player, a great athlete, big-bodied, used around the goal line, all of those things that you like, you don't have Josh Jacobs to really hammer those touchdowns home. If the Packers are going to go and win this game, they're going to need Christian Watson to do something. He's done something in a handful of games. He's not consistent. This is a player who is boom or bust. He could absolutely finish the game with 1 for 17 on 4 targets. But there's very few players out there I look at this week who also have the range of outcomes of like 8 for 152 and 2. Christian Watson, if I've got him on my roster, I doubt I'm benching him. He's pretty high for me this week, just given the lay of the land of what the Packers need and what's available. And he's coming off a 2-touchdown game in his own right.
All right, well, people are struggling with Christian Watson, so we've got Christian Watson or Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, so I know Mike and I are both pretty bullish on Pearsall rest of season. Not necessarily like it's going to be immediate. I am happy to play Pearsall. If I had him in my lineup and I don't have a better option, I would play Pearsall, but Christian Watson is a better option. Everything I just laid out, I think is better. So if I had those two and I had to decide, it gives me an extra week to let Pearsall get back into the rhythm of things, not be running so many like decoy clear out routes for Jennings, and eventually that will switch. And it might be this week where it switches to where it's like, all right, Pearsall, you're the number 1 read. That will happen soon. Hopefully it's this week, but you can wait and find the time for that if you've got Christian Watson.
All right, we're moving over to the tight ends. This one, not many people are struggling with tight end this week, apparently. But if you're struggling like this. So Greg Dortch or Chimere DK?
Wow. That is a real struggle at the tight end position, considering those are wide receivers.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You're right. We have one more wide receiver.
Yes, we did.
Sorry.
Yes, we did. Yeah, at tight end, I'm definitely not going to play Dortch. He's so small. Terrible blocker in line. Chimere DK. Oh, I'm so happy. This is a crazy question. There can't be that many people out there like Chimere DK or Greg Dortch, but I'm happy you brought it up because I just want to give a shout out to Xavier Restrepo, who if you don't know who he is, he was Cam Ward's number 1 target in college, who signed as an undrafted free agent to the Titans. He's active today. He's been on the practice squad. Dude is awesome. I love that guy. I think he can ball. He's a great slot wide receiver, so probably does nothing. But if you're in a dynasty league, Restrepo's probably on your waivers. And I know that on my dynasty leagues, I've got like 5 guys at the end that shouldn't be on any roster. So, go check it out. I would go Dortch there. With no Marvin Harrison and Jacoby Brissett averaging like 300 yards a game. Yeah, Michael Wilson's in play. Greg Dortch, I think 66 and a touchdown last week. So yeah, I'd put the Dortch in there. And then every time he catches it, you get to go, what a Dortch. It's a lot of fun. We'll do it here, so you do it along with us at home. All right. Can we get a real tight end now?
Now we're going to get to the one tight end. Sorry about that. Okay,
Lamar Jackson.
We're doing the tight ends, and then we're getting to the people, Jason. This is the only one people are struggling with here, apparently. Mark Andrews or Kyle Pitts?
Oh, people be pitsing in their pants. That's a really close call. You got touchdown versus targets. I'm usually going to lean on the target side, and I will this time, meaning I'm going to go with Pitts over Mark Andrews. The last time we saw Kirk Cousins was also the last time we did not have Drake London there. Pitts got 9 targets, 9 catches, his season high. The matchup against the Saints is pretty good. They're not a sieve against tight ends, but they're not a lockdown either. They're just middle of the pack. Pitts is very necessary, and while certainly the touchdown is much higher probabilities on the Andrews side, if he doesn't get a touchdown, you're probably left with just a giant hole at the position. I don't think Pitts is going to leave you with a hole. So win with the rest of your roster. I did pick up Andrews to play in League of Record against Mike because I am going for more. Like, Mike should win this week, even he's got Flacco starting this week, and so I'm just going for touchdowns. I want the upside. If you're looking for safety, that would be on the pit side. Is it time to get to the people? Ask your questions. All right, before we get to the people, I want to take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Jimmy John's. Jimmy John's is here to keep you fueled through Sunday football. They just rolled out their toasted sandwiches last year, but they couldn't stop there. Now, with a limited time offer, Jimmy John's is bringing you pizza sandwiches available in 2 flavors. Enjoy a melty combination of Parmesan, provolone, and mozzarella cheese spread with marinara, oregano, basil. I'm getting hungry. I'm getting hungry. Josh, you're going to order this. On a perfectly toasted French bread with their 3-cheese pizza sandwich. If you need something with a bit more protein, try the Sicilian pizza sandwich layered with salami, capicola, and ham. And, of course, spread with deliciously melted mozzarella cheese, oregano, basil on freshly toasted French bread. Oh, that's good. Jimmy John's new toasted pizza sandwich is available in 2 flavors, 3-cheese pizza sandwich and Sicilian pizza sandwich at participating locations for a limited time while supplies last. It is time to get to your Stardom Situm.
Stardom Situm.
All right, we're going out to you, the people. Thanks for all your questions. We got a Charbonnet or Jacoby Myers. I'm going to go Charbonnet there. I do worry about the Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, Brenton Strange. Someone's going to end up with something good, but I'm not sure who. Oh, Jameis Winston or Mason Rudolph? Gross. Oh, you can't make me do it. I'm going to go Mason Rudolph. Against Chicago, the weather is actually good. Whenever I see Chicago or Cleveland at home, I'm like, what's the weather? Weather's okay. It shouldn't be too bad. So if I had to say who throws more interceptions, I would pick Jameis Winston. That's kind of what he does. All right, this one coming in from 88, J. Peterfi. There's no way I read that right. DK Metcalf or Kareem Hunt? A flex question that is quite disgusting. DK Metcalf should be awesome. Like, he should be – it's a perfect matchup for him. Kareem Hunt is in one of the highest over-unders. I mean, you're supposed to go DK Metcalf here. Like, you're definitely supposed to take the $150 million wide receiver against a perfectly awful defense. I'm going to go DK Metcalf. I think it gets better without Aaron Rodgers. I think Mason Rudolph targets him more. That's my official stance. And I'm not going to give myself time to change my mind. So, okay, here we got a tight end question from Angolbia by Kayan 8320. I got to stop reading these names. They are terrible. Kate Otten or Colston Loveland. Did someone make Colston Loveland a tight end start of the week? Did Andy? I don't remember who his start of the week was. I worry a little bit with, Loveland and all the Bears. The Bears are unfortunately spreading it around a lot, which is good for them, good for their football team, bad for fantasy. Even with Chris Godwin back, I'm going to take the targets from Otten. But it's exciting seeing, some big individual plays that Loveland has. I just want to see Loveland get – Loveland, if he has 2 great plays, can end up with a terrible fantasy game still. So, all right, next question. We got Flacco or Jordan Love. Ooh, that's a legit one. I've got them back-to-back in my rankings. I've got Flacco one spot behind Love. It's funny because without Josh Jacobs, I think that's really, really valuable for Jordan Love. He's got to throw touchdowns. But Minnesota's defense is good. The game is in Lambeau. I'm going to go Flacco. I'm going Flacco against New England. High over-under in that game. All right, we'll take 2 more questions here, and then we'll let you guys go set your lineups and go win, because that's what we do here. The Foot Clan are winners, and if you don't win, don't ever come back. Okay, it's winners only. Winners only here. All right, I'm gonna find a username that I can read first, because all these are 700,000. Okay, Winoza. Oh, look at this, Winoza. I'm talking about we're winners here. No numbers after the name, just Winoza. Great job. Haven't even read the question. Tucker or Hunt? Sean Tucker or Kareem Hunt? I'm gonna go Kareem Hunt. I think that it's hard to have rushing touchdowns against the Rams. the Colts can give that up a little bit easier. So I expect a lot of points in that Colts Chiefs game. All right, final question here. Well, you know what? We got time for a couple more. Mike. I can keep going. Yeah, I got 3 more questions in me from this point forward. I've seen this question a lot, Judkins or Genty. I am on the Judkins side in half PPR. This question specifies it's full PPR, and we've seen Genty really get involved in the passing game. I think I'm going to switch over there. They're very close. They're back-to-back in my rankings as of this morning. So if you're in a half or standard, Judkins. If you're in a full, I'm going to go Genty. Hope that helps. Jaylen Warren or how did we not have any Emmanuel Wilson questions? That's crazy. With Josh Jacobs gone, Emmanuel Wilson, I think, is a good play. The Minnesota defense is no slouch, but in Lambeau, the opportunities will be there, and he should be darn near a bell cow. He won't get everything, but he's the clear-cut backup where I'm confident in a total workload. You want that kind of fantasy volume. So yeah, I think, man, but against Jaylen Warren, Jaylen Warren is in a matchup where I believe every single – yeah, he's playing Chicago. In Chicago, they're missing 3 linebackers. I was thinking about this today. I was like, you get that running back out of the try to match up on a 4th string. I mean, really, it'd probably be a 3rd string, 2nd string linebacker. They can't stop Jaylen Warren. So I will go Warren there. But I really do like Emmanuel Wilson. I would start Emmanuel Wilson over Travis Etienne. I'd start him over Aaron Jones. I'd start him over Kareem Hunt or Charbonnet. All right, let's go. 2 more questions. I have Dak and Bo. Do I drop one of them for Goff? Hoo-wee. Yeah, I mean, if you've got to go win this week, I think Goff is going to help you win. Bo Nix has been up and down, and the idea of him putting 3 weeks together in the playoffs scares the crap out of me, and it scares Mike too. He had Bo Nix as his guy, and he went out and traded for Jackson Dart, traded for Joe Burrow, said, I'm not rolling with that in the playoffs. So, yeah, I would pick up Goff and drop Bo. All right. Oh, I'm going to ask 2 more because this is disgusting. Disgusting. Hawkinson or Likely. Ugh. Oh, disgusting. I am so sorry to make everyone vomit at the end of this stream. This is a 1.5 point tight end PPR. You got to go Hawkinson. If it's 1.5 points per reception, I expect more receptions for him. Yardage is definitely more on the Likely side. So I'll give the format the fix. And the last question. Everyone get him in now. It could be you. Man, so many Sean Tucker questions. I'm going to try to find 2 players we haven't talked about yet for the final question. These are gross. That's gross. Gross. Those are gross. Jameis or Shuck? Tyler Shuck or Jameis Winston? Jameis is playing in Detroit, at Detroit, against Detroit, and Shuck is at home against Atlanta. Oh, brother. Detroit is really good. They're going to score points. Jameis is going to throw the ball so many times. Shuck is a better quarterback right now. Will he throw touchdowns? I don't know. I think I'm going to hope for an early pick 6 from Jameis Winston and a couple touchdowns to Slayton. I'm going to throw Slayton in there. That feels bad to play the player that's like, in fantasy, sometimes you don't choose the best player. I think that's why, like, the NFL and NFL people are like, oh, you just like fantasy. You don't care about defense. And I'm like, yep, that's right. I don't. I want bad defense, good offense, and I want the best for you, Foot Clan. I want you to go out there and win. Please make all the correct start-sit decisions, and if you do, if you look at the end of this week and you say, man, what a great week, remember the Fantasy Footballers podcast. And if you didn't, if you have a bad week, that was on you. Thank you, guys. We appreciate you. We love you. Best of luck this week. Let's go. 3 weeks left until the fantasy playoffs. All right, we are out of here. Much, much love. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for participating, for talking, for writing, for supporting. Let's go. Let's go get them. Touchdown City this week. Goodbye.